Hello, I am a professional psychologist here to talk about Gregor's case and how he deals with his forms of oppression and the different types of oppression he faces throughout his story and life. Throughout his story, he has experienced many different types of oppression, like ideological, interpersonal, and institutionalized oppression. And due to all these three types of oppression, it really caused to put a mental drain on his health as well as at this toxicity in his life. And I truly believe that regardless of him dying, he was killing himself with all of this toxicity in his life due to all these different types of oppression. So first things first, ideological oppression. And this is like an overall idea of oppression. And a lot of people really just put Gregor down. Like, for example, his entire family as a whole, we are all aware that his sister very cared deeply about him in the beginning of the story. But as time went on, they started to starve Gregor. And Gregor didn't know what to do. Gregor was immobilized. He couldn't get his own food. He was being starved. And then as far as institutionalized oppression goes, his boss, his employer, specifically his manager, came into his house, and those showed sympathy at first started to lack more and more sympathy. Like, he started coming in and accusing him of thieving and just being an overall bad employee as a whole, which, because he is in this position of power, makes it seem like it's okay to mistreat Gregor in this type of manner. Finally, as far as interpersonal oppression goes, this oppression deals with people close to you, your family, your inner web, so to say. And Gregor's father straight up punches him. He punches Gregor, his own son. And then the next day, later in that chapter, it talks about how he was acting completely normal at the dinner table. With all these different types of oppression happening in society, happening in his family, it makes it seem like this is normal. For Gregor, he doesn't know, like, this is his new normal. Him turning into this immobilized, not being able to communicate big insect. It's really just putting a toll on his mental health and and it's just mentally draining as a whole. And I think this is due to all of this different types of oppression as far as the neglect he withstands throughout his story. And I do truly believe that regardless, like I said, regardless of his death, he would have gotten in a very depressed state of mind. Even though he was already in one, he would just gotten worse and worse, dug him into this rabbit hole that he wouldn't, unfortunately, inevitably would never be able to dig himself back up, and possibly resulting in suicidal tendencies. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.